The right to vote is a cherished responsibility in a healthy democracy. Here in San Mateo County, the process of voting is getting a long overdue update. The Voters' Choice Act is here, and it's going to offer you some modern options for how you cast your ballot. Hi, I'm Dan Lawson, and welcome to Take Notice. My guest today is Jim Irizarry, Assistant Chief Elections Officer for the County of San Mateo. Welcome, Jim.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Great to have you. I'd like to start with a quick public service announcement created by California Secretary of State.
There are exciting improvements coming to elections in the counties of Madera, Napa, Nevada, Sacramento, and San Mateo in 2018. These changes will improve when, where, and how you vote. If you live in one of these counties, all registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail weeks before the election. You have 3 choices for how to vote. First, you can vote by mail. You can mail your completed ballot as soon as you receive it. Your next choice is to drop off your ballot at a designated county drop box. Drop your completed ballot off into secure and clearly marked drop boxes that will be located conveniently across your county. Your third choice is to go to any county vote center and vote in person. These vote centers will resemble a traditional polling place, but offer voters more options. Vote centers will be open up to 11 days in a row, and at each location you can vote in person, drop off your completed vote-by-mail ballot, get help with any questions, get voting materials in multiple languages, vote with an accessible voting machine, and register to vote and vote on the same day. The California Voters' Choice Act will make voting more convenient and accessible in the counties of Madera, Napa, Nevada, Sacramento, and San Mateo in 2018. Learn more at voterschoice.sos.ca.gov.
It sure looks like you've had your hands full making some sweeping changes in this situation.
Well, these are exciting times in San Mateo County elections. Once again, San Mateo County and its citizens are going to be at the forefront of a historic election in the state of California. It'll be the first election conducted under the California Voters' Choice Act that is going to bring a completely new elections model to voting in California.
How is this going to change the way people vote?
Dramatically. It will, by the very nature of the name of the act, it provides choices to all of our electorate on different options on how to vote. I would say that the primary change going to an all-mail ballot election is that every voter in this county will receive in their hands, 29 days before the election, a ballot with a prepaid envelope. In their hands will be the opportunity to change the destiny of their community. They don't have to go to a vote center, they don't have to go to a polling place, they don't have to go to a ballot drop-off location. All they need to do is to simply mail their ballot. So the first and foremost change is that it's an all-mail ballot election. But equally exciting is the vote center concept. The vote center concept changes traditional polling places to a vote center model. The vote center model is designed to provide polling places over a longer period of time throughout the county and to provide a variety of services at a vote center that traditional polling places do not or cannot. First and foremost, a vote center will have new technology employed. At a vote center, we will have trained staff that will be able to access VoteCal, the California Voter Registration Database, to be able to determine in real time the voter registration status of everyone. So if you lose your ballot, if you misplace it, the day of the election, you can go to any vote center in the state of in California. Let me clarify that. You can go to any vote center in San Mateo County, and we will be able to verify your voter registration status in real time. You will be able to register to vote, conditionally register to vote, be issued a conditional provisional ballot to cast your ballot. So there are a lot of opportunities to be served as a voter in San Mateo County at the vote centers because of the technology that's available. But as I mentioned, it will also be available over a longer period of time in various areas in the county. For example, a person who works in Redwood City on election day can go to the Daly City Vote Center and cast their ballot there. That means we will actually be able to determine their voter registration status. We will be able to determine whether they cast a ballot or not in another vote center or anywhere in the state of California.
Amazing. That is amazing.
Because it's real-time data. So, and they will be able to actually receive their actual ballot style. So in Millbrae, for example, you have school districts, you have city councils, you have other districts that are unique to that particular voter. And that's why traditionally you had to go to your polling place to get that ballot. In a vote center model, you can go to any one of our 39 vote centers and be issued your official ballot with your ballot style. So there's opportunity and there's convenience in that factor. The other thing is that we will have ballot drop-off locations strategically placed throughout the county that folks can drop their ballots off at any time. And one key element of the Voters' Choice Act, which is really innovative, is the community education and outreach portion of the legislation, which places a responsibility on the chief elections official and election officials in counties that administer the California Voters' Choice Act to actively engage their community in the voting process. The objective of the law is to increase availability and accessibility and convenience to all voters and voters who have traditionally not participated in the elections process. So there is a plethora of opportunities that are available under the all-mail ballot, vote center, ballot drop-off location established by
encourage
the voters.
people to get engaged. That seems to be the key too.
Absolutely. And you will see in this process, as part of our community education and outreach, we are going to outreach constantly to our voting public. They will receive not only their sample ballot, but they'll receive postcards reminding them that we're in an election and to please remember that and to cast their ballot and vote.
And all of this information is on your website, right?
All of the information can be found on our website, smcacre.org, where there is a wealth of information you can find on the election on that page.
So what about the people who don't have a mailing address, though? Maybe even homeless?
We have a process that folks will come to our office and register to vote. They do need to provide proof of address or a location. They do need to fill that out. You need to be a county resident, you need to be 18 years of age, you need to be a citizen of the United States, and you can't be a felon at that particular time. But if you meet those qualifications, those criteria, you will be registered to vote.
Right. You touched on it just a little bit previously, but when will the ballots be mailed out?
The ballots will be mailed out 29 days before the election.
Okay.
And I'm sorry I don't have that date specifically in my mind.
That's okay.
But
29 helps. Good. And what's the deadline for mailing them back?
you can mail that ballot all the way back up through Election Day. And there's a new law in place that is Election Day +3, which means that if you postmark it on Election Day, it must be received by the elections office within 3 days.
Okay. Okay, so maybe if there's a hang up at the post office, that means you're out of luck, huh? Maybe?
Well, we're looking at postmark.
Postmark, there we go. Okay. Postmark.
And what we're looking at also is that we work very closely with our partners in the Postal Service.
Right.
We've already met with them, and they are true partners in an all-mail ballot election, and they understand that, and they have been very helpful in this process.
I know some people would rather drop them off. Can you still drop them off, and where?
Absolutely. We have, in this type of election, we have not only the vote centers where ballots can be dropped off at, but we also have ballot drop-off locations, which are going to be strategically placed throughout the county. We have 30 of those that are going to be throughout the county.
How about the traditional old polling places? Are there going to be any of those at all for the traditionalists?
It's called a vote center these days.
Okay, vote center, okay.
And so, yes. And again, we go back to what the foundation of the act is. It's the Voters' Choice Act. And it did take into consideration that many individuals prefer to cast a ballot at a polling place. What this has done is really expand that opportunity over a much greater period of time for folks to go to a vote center and cast their ballots. Where you only had one day at a traditional polling place, now you have, starting 29 days before and incrementally increasing 10 days before, the number of vote centers that will be in the county available, all the way up to 39 vote centers through Election Day.
Now, Jim, are you doing anything special for all of these tech nerds out there? I may even be one of them.
Well, it goes from millennials to baby boomers,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And it seems like everybody these days is a tech nerd. You know, everybody has their mobile device, and that is their preferred way of obtaining information. So what we're going to do in this election, which
Wait,
is
excuse me, I have to take this call. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
what we're going to do in this election is we're going to provide an opportunity for all mail ballot voters to actually get a digital I voted sticker. You wouldn't believe how many comments we receive from all mail ballot, permanent vote by mail ballot voters that, boy, I really like to vote by mail, but I really love my I voted sticker. So they will come down to a polling place or a vote center to actually drop their ballot off and get the I voted sticker. So what we're going to do in this election is we've created, staff was very creative at the elections department. We have a lot of millennials there. And one of the thoughts was to create a digital I voted sticker. So when you've cast your ballot, you can then call the elections division, and we will issue you an I voted sticker that's digital that you could use as your signature or next to your signature, whether it's on Facebook or emails or whatever, that shows that you've been a 5, a 10, a 15, a 20, a 30-year voter
going.
in San Mateo County. And I think that's important to recognize, folks. And in this day and age where digital communications is the primary way that we communicate, you can proudly state and show your peers that you're an active voter in San Mateo County.
Sounds like a winner to me.
It is. It is. It's an exciting time in San Mateo County.
Well, it sounds like San Mateo County is at the forefront of some important new tools for you and me to cast our votes conveniently and securely, thanks to Jim Irizarry, Mark Church, and the good people in our elections division. What happens in San Mateo County will be closely watched by other counties, as it should be. So thanks for joining us today on Take Notice.